not overnight, but every night. So on a daily basis, this young man is, plugging in, learning, and more important, teaching and helping others, because he has a servant spirit, but more important than that, he's getting that money. So let's talk cash flow. Let's talk wealth. Let's talk ownership. Let's talk coming out of this thing better than we went in. And I'm proud that I got two of my younger brothers helping me out with the presentation tonight. So on the one hand, Bernard, you still gonna ride with me through the conversation?
Cool.
And then for those of you that don't know him, that man over there in the picnic Hawaiian shirt, I'm gonna get you out that shirt, bro.
On the beach.
Senior Director Anthony Clements out of Albany, Georgia. Now, I'm going to showcase some things that these two gentlemen have done over just the past couple of months, that have set them up to generate generational wealth over the next couple of years. And I feel like anytime someone's going to share information with you when it comes to the world of finance, it's important that you know who they are. So by way of background, my name is Richard Hardon, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. And in Atlanta, Georgia, they taught us a formula in the program. And here's what they said. They said, go to school, get good grades so that you can go to college, so that you can get a good job with benefits and live happily ever after. Now, because those of you that are on live on Facebook and those of you that are here in the room in Zoom have checked in from all different places, different than where I'm from, just type in the chat where you're from and if that's what they told you was the formula for success. So let's see who we got in the room in Zoom. So yes says, hey, yes. Bernard and Lithonia, Georgia. Well, Lithonia's close enough to Atlanta where I'm pretty sure they told you the same thing. Who else is on? Where you from? What did they tell you about success? Yep, Lamar is actually from where I'm from. He's from East Point. They taught us the same lessons, Paul D. West Middle School, Woodland High represent. Who else? Fort Lauderdale, Florida, yes. Brooklyn, New York, yes. Snellville, Atlanta, Georgia, yes. Detroit, yes. South Carolina. So here's what I want to make sure. No matter where we're from, they taught us the same game. They taught us to run the same plays. And the challenge I found was I did exactly what they said to do. Meaning, I went to school, I got good grades. As a matter of fact, I got really good grades. I didn't get any grade below 93 from my 8th grade to my senior year. Now, I understand, Sonia. It's one of those things where, as you think about the process of going through that many years, at the end of it, I was a valedictorian. They called me all kinds of things that weren't my name until the end, but I graduated top of my class of 635 people. Got an academic scholarship to Duke University and double majored, electrical engineering and computer science, and got out into the workplace and got a rude awakening. Everybody say rude.
Rude.
I went and did all the things they said to do, and I got out there in the workplace with the good job and the benefits and found out that there were some things that were missing from my education. Meaning, I found myself in a place where the more money I made, the more frustrated I became, because I would go to work, I'd work hard, I'd be working my way up, and then ask myself at the end of a paycheck, where did the money go? Where they were making the kind of money that they said was possible and found that it wasn't enough. Like, you going to work, you're working hard, you get paid, the bills get paid, and the next day you trying to figure out how to get to the next payday. Well, that's where I was, and what I found out is, and if you've ever been in that place, here's what I want to let you do. I want to let you relax. It's not entirely your fault. See, we went through life being prepared for a money game, but not being prepared to play. Meaning they teach us all the subject matter we needed to learn in order to master their curriculum and their agenda. But how many of you ever just wanted to be financially successful and build wealth?
I did.
How many of you found out that was not in the curriculum?
No.
So we're gonna do a new curriculum today. So if you're taking down notes, we're talking financial education and income shifting today. Now, when we talk about income shifting, we have a shared definition that we've adopted as a team, Bernard, and I want you to just tell people the concept first, and I'll tell them how it goes. Does that make sense?
As far as income shifting, everybody, is simply just a strategy that shifts more of our money back into our pockets. Income shifting is that simple.
Is that simple. And as we think about the simplicity of the concept, the simplicity of shifting your money back in your pockets, people are usually asking the question, well, where did the money go? In 2020 has been a kind of a special year for this kind of thing. Because if you think about 2020 and all the visions we had for 2020 and what we put on our vision board, who knew this was coming, right? I mean, in the era of the, that little COVID-19 virus that we can't see, it has had impacts that we can see all over the country, right? You think about the idea of social distancing, all the major league sports shut down, the NCAA tournament shut down the day that it started, right? Record unemployment. I just talked to another good friend today that because of everything that happened, it just got hired, but first hire, last hire, first fire, right? And then just even the idea of the place where we would normally go for comfort, instead of going into the house of the Lord, we dialing in with virtual church services.
Right.
I mean, and then, the last thing is you think about all of those things and how they impact the things that were taking money out of our pockets anyway. And there are 4 challenges. Anybody taking notes, is 4 challenges to anyone looking to make money and create wealth in America. So here's what we'll do. Since there's 4 and there's 3 of us, Bernard, I want you to tackle the first challenge. Anthony, you take the second, and I'll clean up the last 2.
Okay.
Inflation, guys, is one of the first challenges. And if you guys are taking notes, like you said, inflation is the silent income killer, mainly because it hits our pockets really hard, and sometimes we don't even notice it. Like, definitely right now, inflation is simply the rate of exchange of products and services going up and down with our paychecks staying the same. Right. Majority of us, I know we can all agree that our paycheck has been what it's been for however long it's been. But when we look at the grocery stores, when we look at the gas prices, eggs and water, all these different things are going up, but our paycheck stays the same. That causes some kind of challenge when it comes to finances and pushing to do a little bit more with our money when inflated prices are killing us.
That's absolutely right. Prices going up, dollar values going down, and our income, unless we control it, stays the same. And then, Anthony, we were talking about the Chainsaw Massacre the other day when it comes to taxes.
Yes, sir. Yes, taxes. Listen, taxes is the biggest expense that we all have to pay. Contrary to popular beliefs, it's not your children, it's not your spouse, not your kids. Now, even though they are big expenses, but it is not the biggest expense. So this is not a tax evasion conversation, but it's just a tax efficiency conversation. So taxes take 1/3 of your money. Mm-hmm. So there are some taxes that we can't negotiate, such as our sale tax, our property, and our health loan tax. Well, we can't do anything about that, but there's something that we can do, and that is the income tax. So, that's what it's about.
And if you think about those 2 things, dollar value going down, taxes going up, it causes the next challenge, which is debt. The next third of the average American's paycheck goes to debt because people are having those kind of emergencies, and most people don't have $500 saved up in the event of an emergency. And then the last third, I'll just say this. If you ever wonder where the money went, inflation, taxes, debt, and the last 1/3, the last little bit of our check that we got left goes to big business, because business has a way of systematically extracting money from your pocket on a monthly basis like clockwork. All through the year, every time there is an emotional trigger to spend. Meaning right now, it's August. Kids ain't even necessarily going back in the building, but it's time for back to school. And then in September, we're going to have Labor Day. In October, there'll be Halloween. In November, there'll be Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is great. It's great to be grateful, but it's surrounded. You got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and now they got Brown Thursday. It's 3 days of retail where the retailers go back into the black. They've been operating negative all year. Then you got Christmas. Then you got, in January, you got New Year's. In February, there's Valentine's Day. In March, spring break and St. Patrick's Day. In April, you got Easter. In May, you got Mother's Day. In June, there's Father's Day. In July, there's 4th of July. And then we're right back around in August to back to school. Does everybody see that cycle of emotional spending now? Now, by the way, we're not here to talk doom and gloom. We are here to talk solutions. Because here's the reality. Write this down in your notes. The people that create solutions to the most challenges that people have create opportunity. There's always cash in chaos. And if you think about it right now, Bernard, everybody's not losing right now, yes?
Yes.
I mean, there's tons of people providing solutions for people, and because they do, this isn't a bad year. This is their best year.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Companies like Purell, Uber Eats, Instacart. How many of you use some of these services? Amazon keep coming to my house like they're a friend of mine, right? But who else is winning? We are winning. MWR Financial, if you want to know the company that's backing this conversation, MWR, it stands for Make Wealth Real. We're in the darkest time that many people have experienced financially, but we're providing that light and giving people solutions to the challenges that they face. And there's 3 solutions that we focus on delivering. So I'm going to talk about the first of the things that we offer. Bernard, Anthony, you're the next 2. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
First thing that we do is we give people the opportunity to start a home-based business. And I think a part of our explosive growth has been that for the first time in the history of America, Americans are having to sit home and look at their situation and either decide to escape into entertainment and binge watching or jump in and get their house in order. Now, by starting a home business, now you get the 475 tax deductions that aren't available to the regular person. You got the low overhead costs because you already own the place that you're in. And because we're buying a systematic approach versus trying to create something new from scratch, you got the chance to earn a high income without having to stop what you're doing, and you can do it safely from home.
Big facts.
Yep. And so now the next part, Bernard, just talk to me about, tell them what you were telling us early about just how leveraging technology has transformed the home business arena.
Well, I want everybody just to participate with me real quick. If y'all can do me one huge favor, just give me a hand raise if you ever use Zoom. Give me the thumbs up. Right?
Come on, it's a trick question. You're using Zoom now.
All right. So Ashley, you ain't gonna say nothing. I was just playing. She gave me the thumbs up. But how many people actually ever use Instagram? How many people actually ever use Facebook, YouTube? See, when we say we're leveraging, people are already utilizing these things. Mind you that Richard just said everybody's already at home. We're home. Most people are not working right now at 9 o'clock at night. And a lot of people, where are they? Right here on social media. And the video is one of the most powerful gifts that keeps on giving. Because after this video is done on Facebook Live, yes, we have like 200 people watching us live right now. But by in the morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to come back and it's going to be over 2,000, 4,000 people who've already watched this. So that's what we call leverage. The first billionaire in the world name was John Paul Getty. He said, I'd rather earn 1% off of 100 people's efforts than off 100% of my own efforts. Because if anything ever happened, 99% of the work is still done. So virtual solutions is one of the best solutions when it comes to growing and building your home-based businesses.
Okay, and then the core, and it's such a profound point, just to think and contrast what people used to think of as home business to what we do today. Is not just revolution, it's evolution. This is a whole different thing from what you thought we were doing. And then the last category is we're bringing people the thing that they need, meaning in any time of difficulty, knowing how the education system in terms of finance has underperformed. Most people need at least 2 things, an education and some expertise. Meaning we got into a game against professionals, and here's the division of things that we do. There's 3 categories of the solution that we provide through our team of financial experts. When you're new, so if you're asking yourself, I'm new, I'm just looking at this for the first time, what will my role be? Well, your role will be exposing people to the team of experts. As leaders in the extra digit movement, we've taken on the responsibility of educating and filling the gap between,
I got you.
finding the gap between what we knew coming out of school and what we needed to know to be successful financially. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are.
So making sure that's clear. The person that invited you right now, if they're not me, they're doing their job. What does their job look like? sitting at the house, chilling, getting information, and at the same time, leveraging the technology to build a business. Invite people to Zoom, they come, they decide whether this makes sense to us, if they want to become a part of the movement and change their lives financially, and they get to grow and build and learn at the same time. If you can invite people to Zoom, and I know you can. Somebody invited me to a Zoom funeral yesterday and a Zoom happy hour. So if you can mourn or party online, you can definitely get together and make some money online. Make sense?
That's definitely true.
And then we have a team of executes who execute the strategies for helping people shift their income, which is the money that they made from their job, back to its original source, which is them. Make sense? So write that in your notes. I'm not the expert. I don't ever have to be the expert. I do not want to do your taxes or fix your credit, but I know some people who can. So let's talk about how that process works. When you get started with MWR, say that you take this seriously and you want to maximize everything that we have access to. With MWR, they have a product called the Financial Edge Membership. It covers the 4 core basics that were left out of our education in the school system. Now, to get access as we have, it's $228 to start your MWR franchise, $119 a month, which is less than $4 a day. Now, I like to put the price out up front, not because I'm worried about it. I don't want you to be worried about it. I want you to know up front, you can afford to do this. It's just your decision what level you participate. Does that make sense?
Right.
Now, what's your business? It's providing other people the opportunity to have a home-based business and leveraging the Financial Edge membership to use your money to create wealth. Write that down. Your money creates wealth. Write that down. Matter of fact, don't say your money. My money creates wealth. At the end of the conversation, you'll get to make a decision on whether that money that is creating wealth for you or somebody else. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it. So we got 4 pillars of the Financial Edge membership. Got Money Max, Credit Max, Equity Max, and Wealth Max. Again, areas where, think about it. Did anybody teach you tax strategy in school before they sent you to work? Did anybody show you what credit would mean in your life and what things you could do to have the maximum credit score in your formal education?
Mm-mm.
Anybody tell you how to get out of debt in record time? Well, the best way to get out of debt is not to go into it, but what they teach us is how to go into debt. And then last but not least, Wealth Max helps you get returns on your investment. Does that make sense? Now, Anthony, I know you and I were talking earlier about the things that Money Max did for you personally. I think it's important that people get the picture because, Anthony, tell them what you do and also tell them what Money Max did for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Richard. Listen, what I did, of course, I'm a school teacher. I teach music in Dougherty County school system. And what I did is that I did what the experts said, and I did what they asked me to do. And they asked me to upload my 2 pay stubs, check stubs, and also to upload my 2-year of tax returns. After I upload it into the system, then what they do, the experts give me an adjusted W-4. My job was to take the W-4 to my employer, and the next time I got my check, it increased by $475.
$475 as school
money.
Now, here's the exciting thing.
Yes.
I want to make sure that we make some things very clear to people, because there are people that will say to me, I'm not interested. I heard of those kind of things. I'm not good at that. But now let's be clear on what you had to be good at doing, Anthony. You said you uploaded some documents.
Yes.
And they sent you something and you took it and turned it into the HR department.
Yes.
And then as a result of you turning that in, the experts did all the work and gave you the paper to take in, and you got a pay raise from your job. You increased the flow of money from your job into your home so that you had your money to work with versus the IRS. That's shift number 1. If taxes is one of our biggest challenges, taking third, we're not saying we have to evade taxes, but we're also saying we don't have to overpay. Now, in that process, you didn't have to ask for a raise?
No, I didn't.
You didn't have to recruit anybody? You didn't have to sell anything?
Not one, not a thing.
See, guys, you don't understand what I'm feeling right here, because there's so many years in home business where there were so many things you had to do to earn $500 as a bonus, and none of it came from your job. But now that's $500 that comes month after month after month, just doing the things that the experts guided you to do once you had the education. Everybody give Anthony Clements a round of applause for what he was able to do using MoneyMax. And now here's the exciting thing about the MoneyMax program and platform is it helps people on both the front and back end in terms of their taxes, meaning the instant pay raise at the home of the instant pay raise is actually lower than the total in deductions that you get once you become a home business owner. Did you know that? So let me show you how that part works. So as we talk, by the way, Anthony's story is not unique. There are plenty of people on this line right now that got the experts at MoneyMax to go to work on their tax situation. And because of that, $117, $1,027, $800 increase in pay. Matter of fact, write this website down. Go look up MWR Testimonials fan page on Facebook. The second thing you get is a virtual assistant called TaxBot. Because the second promise of having a home business is now you get access to your money as deductions, meaning significant portions of your lifestyle you can now write off. Meaning, think about where we are right now. Because you are using your home, a room in your house, a percentage of your square footage, your internet access, your electricity, your car, and your miles, all of that can be written off. But the place where most people struggle is in accounting. Well, congratulations, the TaxBot we got an app for that. TaxBot included in the membership actually goes, records your mileage. Not only that, it prompts you at the end of each trip to log your mileage. And then at the end of the day, it says, summarize today's trip so that the mileage log that you need to get those deductions is in an IRS approved format, ready to take straight to the preparer. And not only do we get to lower our tax increments and pay raise, we're also able to let people know, send them a friendly calculator that helps them estimate what amount of money they could get from working with the MoneyMax system and getting the financial aid. Now, part two is Credit Max. Now, I know everybody here knows, but you may not know. Your credit score determines how much you pay for money. We got a very simple process of going through, uploading your 3 bureau credit reports, and then giving limited power of attorney, and they go to work to produce phenomenal results for people. And one of the people it's produced results for is actually helping me co-pilot this call. That's none other than Create Your Own Economies, Bernard Ponder. Bernard, tell us what Credit Max did for you.
Well, you pretty much said everything in that last slide that you just had up, and it's that I did it right there. Like they say, sometimes you may be in the business, but the business isn't in you until you actually apply the strategies. So I actually applied it at the end of January, and all I did was take Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you ever heard of those companies.
Mm-hmm.
But I took those same 3 things. I downloaded it. They give us, you can do it on annualfreecreditreport.com for free if you do it 1 time per year. But I uploaded it to them. And in my first 32 days, it went up to 38 points. So this was by mid-March. My credit score went up 38 points. And I just looked at it back in June. I need to look at it this month because they're doing the work for us. So I don't even be thinking about it. But in June, it went up extra 58 points. So that was very, very, very nice to see. Because I know that when your credit score goes up, your interest rates goes down. And I'm looking to do things like get my first home very soon.
Nice.
By creating my own economy with the Credit Max portal.
Awesome. Everybody give it up one more time for Bernard for just putting the experts to work. See, here's the thing. You got to think about how good somebody can get if they only do one thing all day. Can you find that one for me, Bernard? But think about the other results. So it's not just Bernard. This young lady went from a 356 to a 501 to a 763 in a 3-month period. She's the only one of her grandfather's grandchildren, 19 years old, to be able to purchase her own car without granddaddy as a co-signer. Jessica Schufert, true rock star in this business, she used the Credit Max system for her husband and herself, meaning she increased her one investment covers both members of a married couple. And so they both were able to get 100+ point increases in their credit with one membership. And there's lots of people you don't know, and here's somebody you do know. I had fair to mid, what they say, I had very good credit. High 6s, low 7s. Oops, I'm not sharing. My bad. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, hey, look at this dude at the bar with a Corona Rita,
That's a
Texas
tasty
style.
beverage.
That's not even the legal size bottle for that. That looks fun. All right. So even, I'm one of those people. I say I'm not selling anything. I'm telling people what worked for me and changed things for me financially. But going from the high sevens to 810, and they even put a plan in place for me to be at 848 over the next 60 days. Now, again, the range for credit scores, for those of you that don't know, because I wasn't really tracking, didn't know most times till I went to borrow some money, between 350 and 850. And if they can do it and they're going to do it for me while I'm busy doing my thing, that helps my interest rates go down. In my case, I refinanced my house, went from a 5.75% interest rate down to a under 3% interest rate, saving myself $700 a month in interest, and still they'll help me pay it off faster. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And then the next thing. So let's talk. Oh, by the way, there's my brother. This runs in the family. What if you made a new legacy of your family that good credit and out of debt runs in my family?
Glory,
right?
hallelujah. Come on.
And then you got Bert Sims again. It's not just for people with bad credit. It's saying let's put the best financial foot forward so that we always qualify for the best deals, and we know that we have more than enough money. You went from 834 to an 845. And then once we get to there, we're able to tackle the next area, which is debt. Everybody say this in your notes, write this down. Debt-free is the new free.
Debt-free is the new free.
And why do we say that? Because in the good book, it says that the debtor is slave to the lender. And when we talk about the sentence, except this time it's self-imposed, because interest is the second highest expense in most people's homes. Taxes is first, interest is second. In this young lady's case, it was her creditors. Believe it or not, your creditors do have a plan. You know what that plan is, right, Bernard?
Keep you in debt.
It's to be your creditors. It's to keep you in debt, working and paying bills until you die. This young lady's case, the creditors had planned for her to be in debt for 13 more years. Equity Max gave her a release plan of 3. In this young lady's life, not only were they planning to have her paying until she died, they had their plan was for her to be paying for 111 years.
Crazy. That's crazy.
That's a reverse legacy. That's passing on to your kids' kids. And in my case, again, I'm not a seller of the system. I am a testimony to the system. Because when I first started working with Equity Max, they looked at all the debts that we had, looked at where we were, and put a plan together for us to go from 24 years in debt to down to 9 years initially. And by the creditors plan, that would save us about $250,000, but more importantly, 15 years. But here's what happens with the process of income shifting is it's always continuing to improve as you shift your income first, then you build assets, and those assets do more things. And then in addition to Equity Max, which helps you pay off bills that you can pay off, we just added this thing called Bill Shredder, Anthony. And what's most exciting to you about Bill Shredder and what it's allowing people to do with the bills they can never pay off?
Well, the bill shredder is it's a system where you put all your bills into the system and the experts negotiate the best price or the lowest price on your behalf without you having to do that.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So now you got people professionally that all they do all day is go to bat against the big boys with group buying power. Because how many of you believe that 1,000 of us can negotiate a better rate than just me and Anthony going to negotiate our own bill?
Yep.
Put the experts to work. And then let's pause for a second here, because I know we covered a lot in a hurry, gentlemen. Let's make sure if there are any questions, let's make sure to take those questions. So the first half of the income shift is first shifting your money back. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions about Credit Max, Equity Max, Money Max?
I don't see any in the chat box.
No questions. You guys must have done a great job. Y'all give it up for Anthony and Bernard. I'm going to just go over here and be on mute and let them do the rest of the presentation. It's like, because here's what happens. Now that you've got your money back, knowing that your money is the source of wealth, it just depends on whose wealth you create. We have different vehicles than what we were traditionally taught available, in addition to the things that we already know. Does that make sense? Because what they taught me was you need to put money in your 401k. Anybody put money in their 401k? Yep. I've been investing at least 10% into my 401k since I was 20 years old. right? Maxed it out for most of my career, but here's what I found. That my 401k was tied to the stock market, and the stock market is crazy right now. That if anybody needed their full value in retirement, this is a worse year to retire in the last 10 years. But the second thing they gave us is different vehicles. Everybody say you can always ride, but sometimes some of the vehicles are better. So with WealthMax, this is now my favorite investment account because it gives me a way to be my own bank. Because think about the banks that they taught us to put money in. Meaning, I don't know where you live, but I bet a bank has the biggest building in your city. And you know whose money they built that bank with?
Ours.
Money.
But here's how a traditional bank works. They give you low returns on your money, meaning you put some money in the bank now, whether it's in savings, checking, even CDs are returning under 1% right now. They loan your money out, or what I call flip it on the street from East Point, where there's a process. The legal term for it is arbitrage, but they take your money and loan it to people as card loans, as student loans, as credit cards, earning as much as 20 and 30% interest on your money, and then paying the change to you. And then think about it, even if you got an account at a bank and you go to get a credit card, do you know you have to qualify to borrow your money that's in the bank?
Your own money.
And that way, when they set the loan terms, your dollar can only do one thing, and all the things that it does serve them. Now, with the private reserve account, you get to be your own bank, meaning you get to invest and it's linked to the stock market, grows at the stock market rate. But when the stock market goes down, it stays level. So unlike the roller coaster, if any of you do your stock charts on any of the funds that you had in your 401k, if you got 6 figures in, I can tell you 5 days this year that you lost 5 figures.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just me, it's the market. But the second thing is, now that you've invested the money, you get to do arbitrage like the bank does. So now the money that you have is earning market return. So say you put $50,000 into the account. You decide that it's time to buy your new wife a car. You pull out $30,000 to buy the car. You set the terms you're going to repay yourself on, but the whole time the money's working, paying for the car, it's also earning market rates on the full $50,000. Totally different from the penalty and pain that you feel if anybody on this line ever had to withdraw money from their 401k before age 59 and a half, right? Nobody. And then the last thing we'll talk about is land banking. Again, exciting in this area. The best thing about real estate is that it is stable, and it is the one area where you can guarantee that inflation actually works in your favor. Because the price of real estate does not tend to go down. It goes up, and when it goes up, it pushes up the value of your asset. With land banking, we get the opportunity to buy land in the path of growth, 20 to 40% below market rates, selected by professionals based on growth trends and analysis of 9,000 properties per quarter. Right now, we just got land certificates in Antelope Valley, Green Energy Valley, California. And imagine this as a profile. The property is surrounded by the biggest investors in the country right now. Warren Buffett's on this side, Kaiser Permanente's on that side. Walmart and Sam's just built clubs on either side of the freeway. It's the only freeway built in LA County in 25 years. And oh yeah, by the way, Olympics is coming to LA in 2028. Anybody that knows that's from Atlanta learned what I learned in Atlanta. In 1986, most of the freeways in Atlanta were 2 lanes. Everything went to 4. We suddenly became the world's largest airport, and more importantly, raw land, just acres of land in the right places with access to transportation, went from being farms and the country to being little cities. So places like Fayetteville and Conyers and Alpharetta, where nobody's from, suddenly everybody lives there. They're great $1 million homes. It's awesome what the Olympics does for growth. Right. And the best thing about where we are, we got 8 years. So we got a short holding period, and looking on average, think about this, 20 to 24% average return on our 7-year hold period.
That's nice.
It's awesome. That's better than flipping. All right, so let me pause. That was Money Match and how we help people with cash flow expansion. I do want to make sure that part of education is clear, that just using the Financial Edge membership puts you in a position where you can change your life financially by shifting your money back to you without having to buy or build anything else. But I know there are some people on, if it's 9:40 at night, there are some people that were told there was a chance to make money doing what we do. Mm-hmm. All right, if that's you, show of hands. I mean, if it's not you, if you don't want to make any money beyond what you do at your job, that's fine. But if you do, if you want to make money helping people, just sharing with them how they can get more money back in their pocket, show of hands, type it in the chat wherever you are. Now, here's a second area of education that we got to focus on, is just understanding the two things that we weren't taught. We weren't taught finance in school. We were also not taught entrepreneurship. If I'm honest with myself, the more specialized education I got through my college curriculum at Duke University, the more focus they put me on being at a job until I die. That makes sense? So this next lesson, we're going to talk about the second shift is shifting the source of your income. First is just shifting the money that you got. But if you want to have different income at a different level, Wealth Max helps with portfolio income. But the other thing that I suggested we add to the portfolio, what do you say it is, Bernard? Oops. Matter of fact, you do the recap for us.
Business income.
Yep. So matter of fact, let's do this recap just to make sure that people are on board with everything that we've said.
Rich, I got to tell you, man, I am really enjoying just being in partnership with you, man. Sometimes, like, you know, we be at our jobs, we do all these different things, we hang out in our neighborhoods, whatever we do, and sometimes we just don't get a chance to be able to connect and rub shoulders, you know what I'm saying, with people of your stature. Now, I just have to say, you're doing a really great job on here. I'm pretty sure everybody else on the line is definitely probably saying the same thing, but I definitely have to just give it back to you, and I definitely appreciate everything that you do for our team, okay? But just in simple recap, man, we actually offer multiple streams of income, but just in a recap, we help people lower their taxes, lower debt, lower the interest rates, and lower expenses. Those things that we do alone is stress releasing. I'm a neuromuscular therapist in my part-time, but one of the biggest things in life as entrepreneurs and business owners, those are the things that cause us stress: taxes, debt, very high interest rates, and expenses. And we just showed you guys solutions on how we help people improve their investments, build their credit scores, improve their income, and definitely grow and expand their cash flow. I know somewhere in the good book it says we want to all live a life of abundance. We want our cup to be able to overflow. And again, I bring it back to the point of being with Richard Hardon. If your cup is already full, you can't, you know, if your cup is empty or halfway full, you can't feed nobody else or help nobody else when we're talking about leaving generational wealth for our kids. So again, Richard, I definitely appreciate that, because you're putting me and definitely a lot of people on this call in the lifestyle of being able to live an abundant lifestyle. So thank you.
Man, my pleasure. I mean, when I say my pleasure, it's one thing to get up and have to go to work. It's a whole different thing to get up excited to help people change their lives. And so as we share just the ability to do those things, to decrease stress and increase abundance, how many of you is that exciting enough that if it happened for you, you tell somebody, right? And because you tell somebody, would it be okay if they paid you for it? Now, we get paid 10 ways, and I know that's mind-boggling for most people.
10.
Most people get paid one way from the job for doing all the things that they ask them to do. With MWR Financial, they pay us 10 different ways for doing the one thing they ask us to do. How many of you have been asked to do more than 10 different things at your job? So let's shift that first. Right? Let's get paid better. Now, I'm not going to talk about all 10 ways in detail, but I do want to touch on 4 just to make sure that we're efficient. If these 4 are exciting to you, we'll end the night here. But here's the thing that I want you to see on this slide is Visa. Research our company. They endorsed us with a card, and whatever research you're planning to do it, but then understand you can't out-research the researchers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yep. So Anthony, out of the 10 ways that we get paid, what's your favorite way?
That's unequivocally daily pay.
Daily pay. What about you, Bernard?
I humbly, being that I'm new to this, the leadership bonuses.
Leadership bonuses. So we'll touch on those and one more, and the most important one, because the engine that drives all this is the customer bonus, meaning we refer a service that we use out of our excitement, just like we would refer a movie or a hairdresser or a mechanic. But in this case, the company pays us upfront and monthly for that customer becoming a part of the Financial Edge membership using your website. Now, beyond that, as you grow, the second thing that I like to focus people on is my strategy for creating a cycle of success. They say success loves speed. And within our company, we have a momentum bonus that honors building this thing with speed. Now, if you think about it, you get started in business, say for the sake of this conversation, you found myself, Bernard Ponder, and Anthony Clements. There is no doubt that we would do business with you, yes?
No diggity doubt.
The three of us get started, but more importantly than the three of us getting started, you can't contain our excitement. We're gonna build this anyway. So when the three of us go and help three other people get started in business, because you helped us get started, you get paid another $450 because you did it in your first 60 days. And then we help those three people do the same thing. That's a team of about, close to 12, that's 12 people. 50 people, I'm sorry. Another $900, that puts you in a position where you've now generated $1,500 a month, $1,500 up front, and close to $50 a month in business income. And just think about this concept, just three people helping three people. Now, I know there's a disconnect for many people when they see this diagram, because they say that looks like one of those pyramid things. Well, let's take on one more area that we were not educated in our traditional education, meaning we were taught that we would have to get a job and start at the bottom and work our way to the top. Anybody heard that before?
I did.
And and it's just amazing. In the education, and all this education, we were not taught the principle of leverage. We were taught to be leveraged. Now, with the network distribution system, everybody gets a chance to start at the top. You get to start as a CEO. You get to start at the top and build your bottom. And that's just one of those concepts. It just makes sense. It's common sense, but it's not common practice. Yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
But now in this process, now we've created a cycle of success where you're incented to help the people that come after you do better than you. How many of you have some people at your job that don't want you to win? I mean, started from the bottom now, and now we're here, right in the middle. Started from the bottom, and we still in the middle, because the top isn't available. But with what we do, you are the head, not the tail. You're above, not beneath, man. Ooh, let me get.
Come on, Pastor.
Come on, sweet king. Sweet king.
And now here's the other power. Now you've created a business where not only have you tripled your investment, but it's also in a position to be self-funding. So let's talk quickly about those things, and we will get out of here. Because here's the idea. In this business, you promote yourself, meaning you don't have to ask anybody what to do to get you to the next level. There's nobody to borrow from, beg, or barter with. The computer promotes you. You do the work, you get the checks. Executive directors, senior directors, area directors, district director, regional director, national director. I don't care what you call me. Just pay me more money. And matter of fact, let me stop and you see if I can get a testimony. Now, this is going to be difficult, because if you put a dark-skinned brother on a dark patio with a margarita during a business presentation as the example for building and having fun, y'all give it up for now, understand this. You can do this at whatever speed you take, but success loves speed. Sean Hill has broken some records in this company, and we're just getting started. Sean, you come off mute for a second and tell Kat and them hi. I'll be over there tomorrow. Taco Tuesday is tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm pulling up too.
Hey, man, this has been incredible. It's been a wild ride. All I do is what you tell me to do. I mean, you lift whole gyms. I lift light weights. You lift whole gyms. So I just do what you say. And because you already had a system in place when I got here, I didn't have to think. And because I didn't have to think, I'm just able to invite everybody to these Zooms and let God sort them out.
Come on,
and
brother.
I keep it that simple. And when people partner with me, I make sure that I help them keep it that simple because, you know, people come from all walks of life and they have all these different space age type of ideas on how they're going to be able to figure out what's going on inside another person's heart. And so I make sure they understand that they can't do that. And then they start inviting people to Zooms and letting God sort it out. And thanks to your leadership, they just keep sending me checks that I don't understand. So thank you so much. But when these checks hit my account and I give you a call and I ask you, why did I get paid this? You are able to explain it to me.
That bridge.
Awesome. But it is always, here's a good thing. Being in a position to watch somebody be in a position to do the thing that they do, have a good time doing it, teaching, because he's also a teacher. We got two educators. So if you're one of those people that think, I'm not good at this kind of thing, I don't like to sell or whatever, we don't do that. That's not what we do. We're teaching. We are teaching, and now we're just making up for the things that we didn't learn at school and getting paid for the process. Just much different and better than educators, right?
Yes.
Now, next category. So we'll talk about, matter of fact, I'll bypass this. Let's talk about the luxury bonus, because these are two areas where residual comes without requiring different work from you. We got 3 tiers of luxury vehicle bonus. Tier 1, $500. Tier 2, $1,250. Tier 3, $3,000 a month. And here's the thing. They don't require you to buy a car. You don't have to get a pink Cadillac, a silver BMW, or Bentley. You can decide that you want to keep the money and get out of debt. Doesn't that just make sense? Don't brand them. Fix your life. So we have a bunch of people at the $500 a month level, some that you don't know. Here from Kier Junior Spates from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. He's also in the bonus club. And if you don't know this guy yet, what are we doing? Sean T. Hill also at the $500 a month level. And just think of it as more money, meaning you can use it to attack your debt. My brother Chuck Hardon is on the line. I'm gonna ask him to close out in a minute. He's already at the $1,250 a month additional income bonus, meaning on the 10th of the month, this pays out whether you buy a car or not. If you've done the work, they send the money. Some people bought the car, some people didn't buy the car. And then at the $3,000 a month level, you got Christy Howard. That's the max that they do on car bonuses. And oh, by the way, we're all being taught by this guy. He's the pace setter for our company. In my opinion, he was the first professional networker to see and understand this comp plan and max it out. Now, by the way, he did not buy those cars with the $3,000 a month bonus. He already had the notes to those cars. He's a car collector, but he will take the money, wouldn't you?
Yep.
And then the presidential bonus, last category I'll talk about. No, that's not the last category. Anywhere from $500 to $100,000 a month extra. That's in addition to the other money that we're going to talk about. Just imagine being able to make anywhere from an extra $6,000 to $1.2 million a year in this one extra bonus. And this is just to let people know there's no limit to how much money we can make if we get systematic and strategic about teaching and helping people. And by the way, we're learning from Brian B. And I'll invite everybody for a chance to meet him on this Wednesday, because he's the first person to get to the top position in the company and the comp plan, and he's teaching the system step for step, word for word. And Anthony and Bernard both said that daily guaranteed pay was their favorite part of the comp plan. Now, what excites you most about it, Anthony, Bernard? Both of you tell me that as I go find you.
At 502, 502. Oh, that's all I say. 502. Like
502 every day. You get a text message. What does that message say?
it says, "Congratulations, you have $20 into your account."
Daily guarantee.
Daily guarantee. Look at Anthony over there looking GQ smooth. Like, I bet he feel like he dressed like Agent 0012 when that text come in. And you got families doing this together. So Desmond and Felicia McCoy, both at $20 a day, operating their distributorships as separate businesses, but together building the same family. Put that on your hashtag relationship goals. Let's build together and let's build wealth together. Then you got on this call, I think Yaz Anderson and Rhonda Bell are on this call, a real estate professional and a teacher. Understand, it's people from all walks of life. Deidre Sampson came in, got this thing done in record time, along with Dana Turnquist. Both different levels and types of professionals, but everybody can use an extra leveraged passive residual income. If you don't have that in your portfolio, something's missing. And then on this page, two groups of people. You've met Bernard Ponder already, and those two people over there are the reason that I'm here. So just to be able to help our parents generate an additional passive residual income in retirement, it feels so much better than having them as greeters at Walmart or needing some extra money, just being able to help people do what they do. Make sense? And then there's a $30 a day level, and there's some, $50 a day, and we got some new folks joining the $50 a day club. So some of these will have to get bumped out. And then my brother was at $100 a day, now $150 a day in non-wage income. And oh, by the way, let me tell his business, he didn't quit his job to do it. Matter of fact, Chuck, are you in a position to talk? I know you were having some internet difficulties early.
This will work. Let's see if this is working. Does that work? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
There we go. There we go. Okay, we working, and you can see me, hopefully.
Yep.
There we go. Hey, so, before we start saying anything, let me tell you, you guys doing an amazing job on really sharing the vision of what this whole movement is about. Because all you guys have different backgrounds, all you guys have different occupations, but we're all on the same financial journey. We're all on the same financial fight of really creating financial freedom. So thank you guys for taking time out tonight to share with the world what we're doing. You're doing an amazing job. Appreciate it. Right?
Man, I appreciate you. And it's, it's one of those rare pleasures. Like, you have a lot of families where brothers don't even talk to one another. But we talk to each other every day, multiple times a day. Who can we help? Who can we help? Who can we help grow? What can we build? Because at the end, we got some different questions that we want to be able to answer. So Chuck, again, thank you for your leadership. Being a part of what we do, having the vision. Get out here and get this thing done from the front. That's my dog. And then as we finish out today, we're all being taught, mentored, trained in success systems by Brian Bean, again, our top income earner. And here's the best thing. If you're on this Zoom for the first time, somebody's invited you, and you haven't had the level of success from something you tried to do or didn't know the people that were having the success or building the system, that's no longer the case, because we have a training and support system that's world-class, where not only do you get access to mentors to help and do presentations with you, but to help guide and build step for step, word for word, what to say, what to do, and all you have to do is plug in. You don't have to count on a cousin or friend or who invited you to the Zoom. You get to learn and grow together, so that on the other end, we have a community of debt-free millionaires with positive income and access by plugging into the system. That's our system. Start, just use the service. Share your success with people, and then stay plugged in. And at the end of the conversation, it's ironic, Chuck, Anthony, Bernard, it's ironic that we have a presentation like this, but there's always 3 categories of people at the end of our conversation. Number 3 person looks at this, sees an opportunity to lower their taxes, lower their debts, eliminate their debts, lower their interest rate, increase their credit score, build generational wealth, all things that they want. And for whatever reason, they say, this is not my cup of tea. Now, some of it I have figured out is confusion. Because we make so much money doing what we do, and it's so simple in comparison to their jobs, they start to get the impression that this must be hard. And they don't have time. And they're not good at sales, and whatever other veil covers their face. So if any of those are the ideas in your head, come look at this again. But more important, we're not going to twist your arms, but we do want you to learn how to get to the other side of money. Second, number 2 category says, I want to expand my cash flow. I'm not interested in generating any additional income or adding a home business as an asset to my portfolio. I just want the experts to help me fix these things and make sure I got a second opinion on what I thought I knew, because I know they didn't teach it at my school. If you want the membership, that's great. $79 a month gets you started on the financial edge. And day one, we can start producing different results by having different goals. So membership, text a person that invited you, send them a message, let them know. And then number 1 says, I'm all in. So if you're number 3, here's what I want you to do. We want to celebrate with you, meaning we work hard, but I don't know if you can tell, we have a good time doing what we're doing. This Sunday at 8, we're having the Boom Boom Zoom celebration, and you, even deciding not to do the business, are a part of the success that we have. So celebrate with the person who invited you, because we only inviting special people into this movement with us. Does that make sense? If you're number 3, come to the party, but also just refer people to us that might be interested in daily pay or expanding their cash flow. If you're number 2, I don't need the membership. You'll get a website with their link. Go to that website and fill out a simple form. It takes less than 3 minutes to fill out the form. In most cases, if you're on the computer where you've been buying other stuff, it'll auto-populate. Just click sign up now. And then if you're a number one, I want all of it. I want more money. I want to have the camaraderie of running with a team that's building wealth together. And I want to fix the finances that I currently have. Same thing for you. Make sure to go to join now on the person who invited you's webpage. They'll send you a link. It'll take you to this. Leave all those boxes checked. And then click here to continue your enrollment. Now, one thing that I have found that trips most people up, this will auto-populate, but down at the bottom below the join now button, there is a check and that little squiggly signature. Check the box, do the squiggly signature, and it'll take you to your launch page where you'll get to see what you need to do next to go to the next level in your business. And they'll send you a text message with our one-page game plan. Because here's our goal. We're not looking to introduce a $119 a month expense into your life. We're looking to generate income. We got a one-page game plan that keeps this super simple, and everybody can get to a place where their business is self-funding in your first 7 to 10 days. Company gives you up to 30, but it only takes 7 to 10 days of the right things to get the result. Does that make sense? And everybody, come party with us. I mean, check it out. This has been one of the toughest times for people from a social distancing point of view, and just to come have a celebration of success where the person who invited you is likely to be recognized for something they've done this quarter. Partners, make sure to be on the lookout for the registration form so that every accomplishment gets a chance to be recognized. Because too often in life, we just end up in a place where the world is outside. They're negative, they're frustrated, they're doing things that disappoint them on a daily basis. Be the first one to invite them to celebrate success, wealth creation, and a movement.
No, that ain't right. That's yours, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure to put yourself in a position where whatever your decision is, at least you get a chance to see people winning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So with that said, on behalf of my partners, Bernard Ponder, Anthony Clements, and Richard and Hardy's biggest baby boy, I want you to come join us. Have a good time. This is the universal. We receive you. And with that said, any questions before we close for the evening?
I'll check the comments.
Any questions? Check the chat for me. Make sure we're all good on questions.
I see no.
No questions? Awesome job, gentlemen. That means we have done it again. We encourage you again every Monday. Come back for Money Talk Monday. We're going to teach, grow, and build. And once we have a nation of 100 debt-free millionaires, we get asked different questions. It's no longer what can we do about education or schools or hospitals, medical care, inequity and treatment. Now we get to ask what can't we do. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Great job, Bernard. Great job, Richard.
You guys crushed that. Great job.